Another one was, this is rather amusing. A man writes regarding Lampone, the mouse catcher, I paid him for you as Arabone 8 drachmae in order that he may catch the mice while they are with young. The advance payment is made as a guarantee of full payment so that Lampone will get on with the job of catching mice while the going is good. In the secular Greek, contemporary with the New Testament, Arabone is regularly a part payment, which is an assurance and a guarantee that full payment will follow. It's an installment paid down in advance, which is proof that and pledge that the whole amount will come later. Now, Paul uses this word as a description of the Holy Spirit. And what Paul is saying, if you look at the word, is that God's gift to us of the Holy Spirit while we're on this earth is an installment. It is a guarantee. It is a pledge. And it is meant to be an advance foretaste of the life which we will have someday if we live in the presence of God. Now, don't miss what Paul is trying to do here. Paul is trying to tell us, if the Holy Spirit is living in you, and you understand that, and you believe that, and you live like that, what you come to believe is that life as a child of God is just the beginning. It's just the beginning. And you know what? As we grow in our Christian life, it ought to get better and better and better. And if we grow older, you know how some people, when they grow older, I've got a friend that preaches up in Missouri, and I called him the other day. We're supposed to go speak at a conference next month and out in California, and I called him. I said, how are you doing, Max? And he said, I'm just getting crotchetier and crotchetier. I don't know what that means, but it doesn't sound real good.
Wait till you're 70. You will.
Okay. All right. You know, some people, the older they get, the more difficult they are to live with. Well, the child of God, the older he gets, the less difficult he ought to be to live with. Because he has the Holy Spirit as a guarantee, as a down payment, as an earnest, as an assurance that this life is good, but the next life is going to be even better. And I believe if a Christian has the Holy Spirit living in him or living in her, and he or she understands that, life will be good. And even though there are problems and difficulties and concerns and cares, when Paul uses the word arabon of the Holy Spirit, the thought in his mind is that the imperfect knowledge that men now possess is just the first installment of the full knowledge that they will one day possess. And the imperfect life that we live here and the imperfect understanding that we have here of Christianity is just the down payment or the pledge that someday we will live a perfect life. And so, to me, that's exciting to think about. That if I'm a child of God, that God has placed within me a promise that life can get better and better and better. And I ought to live that way. And I ought to have an understanding that someday everything that is imperfect and incomplete about this life will be made perfect and complete. And that's a lot of good news. Yes, sir?
I may be wrong about this. I have a long glorious history. But is there any use that is tied to the same concept of an engagement ring? Or is that different?
I would say that particular word is not. I did a lot of looking up that word, and I never saw it in any lexicon or any dictionary mentioned as an engagement ring. Now, you know, I gave you those 2 or 3 instances where, like the lady selling the cow and the mouse catcher. Now, I have heard the idea of the Holy Spirit being like an engagement ring, but I don't know if that's if it's in any way tied back to a Greek word, or if that's just something that some guy came up with as an illustration, which is fine. It's a fine illustration. But I don't know if it'll hold water as far as the Greek.
I have written in one of my old Bibles and studied about that. Hair bond equals engagement ring. I remember that a lot of them reading, I remember seeing it. And I remember somebody use it as an analogy, or if the word study itself says it can be used that way.
The word study doesn't show that, but I don't see that it's a bad analogy.
There's an equal agreement that way, though. The Spirit is not an equal agreement. That's just God's gift.
Well, and from the groom's point of view,
Then for the groom
the
giving.
groom places that ring on there and says, "You're going to be mine down the
I'm gonna
road."
take care.
Yeah, and you're mine. Not now or not, but down the road you're mine.
In Matthew 1:18, where it says Mary was his betrothed, what would that word betrothed mean in Greek?
Well, I can tell you
We'll have to
exactly.
look it up and find out, but that would be
What's the verse?
1:18.
Matthew 1:18.
Because a betrothal is almost
Nice.
marriage.
Nes to theses, not even close. Nothing similar to it. It literally means being betrothed.
And Jeff, when you were talking about the imperfection being made perfect, it's even also the things that are perfect in our life. Just think of the little perfections in our life, like our husband. Our perfections in our life, let's think how much more that will be. It will be expanded.
Exactly.
Just forget about the
Everything that is good about this life can be better. And everything that's not so good can be better. If we live in view of the fact that the Holy Spirit is living in us. Well, thank you. Some of you stayed with us the whole time. Thank you very much. And we'll try to do it again another time.